Sam wants to run 2.5 miles for his workout. If he has already completed 9/10 of a mile, how much further does he have to run? Okay, so the question here is how much further? So he's run part of it. How much more does he have to do? So I'm going to visualize this problem with a very basic diagram. Let's say this is the whole 2.5 mile route, right? And he's already run some of it. Right? He has already completed 9/10 of a mile. So this is 9/10 of a mile. Now the question is, how much further does he have to run? There's the question mark. Okay, so maybe you could tell from this diagram, from this visualization, or from the problem itself, that this is a subtraction problem. Take the whole amount minus the part that's already done, right? So let me go back to blue. 2.5 mile total minus the part that was already done, the 9/10. And that should equal the remainder, right? The remaining part of the workout. All right, so we're subtracting here. We have a mixed number and a fraction. So I'm going to focus on that mixed number right here and convert that to an improper fraction. So we multiply 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So that becomes the improper fraction, 5 over 2, and then we're still subtracting this 9 over 10. Now, if we're going to subtract fractions, the problem here is different denominators, right? The only way to add or subtract fractions is if there's a common denominator. So what we're going to do is change that 2 into a 10, right? And then both fractions will be something over 10, something over 10. And the way we could do that is by multiplying by the number 1, but we're not going to multiply by 1 like this. We're going to multiply 1 as a fraction, 5 over 5, right? Because we're focused on this, right? 5 times 2 is 10, and that's what we want. So this becomes, again, let me just go back to blue. Now, if I'm looking at this multiplication here, top times top, 5 times 5 is 25. Bottom times bottom is 10. And we're still subtracting 9 over 10. This is what we want. We have two fractions that we're subtracting, common denominator. So the answer is going to be over 10. And we subtract across the top, 25 minus 9 is 16. Now we could reduce this fraction. 16 and 10, they both have a factor in common. 16 is 2 times 8, and 10 is 2 times 5. And that 2 over 2 is equal to 1, so that cancels. And we get final answer 8 over 5. Now, the original problem uses a mixed number, so we're going to want to convert this to a mixed number. 8 divided by 5, so 5 goes into 8 one time with the remainder of 3. So 1 3/5. All right, so our final answer, it's a word problem, so our final answer should be in words. We could say Sam has 1 3/5 miles to go. 1 3/5 miles left. 1 3/5 miles left to run. Something that means this. Okay, so that does it for this problem.